I mean, complicated question.
Mm.
Could go two ways. I go Nas just because we've seen this story before. The amount of pros that have come into the one-on-one space and like fully don't understand what it is, and we see them get beat consistently. But if they take it serious and if they lock in, as we've also seen on the other end, Jerome Randall, one prime example of that, playing against another top five player, they take it serious. Like, obviously, their skill is unmatched, their talent level is unmatched. So they take it serious, they lock in, they prepare for a one on one game. Yeah, the pro can take it. But yeah, I've seen this story too many times. I'm gonna go Nas.
I'm totally with you. And if Austin were to go into it like how he has been, his attitude towards it, he would probably lose. But then if he really pays attention to the space, goes on YouTube, watches this, consults with people, trains against other players in the 1v1 space, I think his talent would inevitably win it, and then he would get the win. But if he doesn't take it seriously, it's probably over.
Yeah, I think. Have you ever played FIBA 3-on-3 basketball?
100%,
Did
3x3.
you the first time you played? Did you go into it thinking like it's just half court, it's 3-on-3, it's gonna be so much easier?
Yeah,
That
100%.
that's essentially what 1v1 basketball is. We've all played it. We all grew up playing it, so we all think like it's very easy to get out there and play. But it's a different sport, and if you're there in person, you can really appreciate it. But it's a mixture of boxing and martial arts with basketball. It's a little bit more physical. It's more about playing to 30. It's not about what you can do for 5 or 6 points. It's what you can do all the way up to 30, and that's really what makes the game. And we've seen plenty of talented people get in there and play and compete and look really good for a few possessions. But at the end of the day, like going to 30 is you're basically preparing for an hour game of 1v1 against someone else who does not want you to win.
I wouldn't compare Austin Rivers to Jay Z, but if you threw Jay Z in a 3 round battle versus Loaded Lux, I think Loaded Lux is getting the win, right?
There you go. It's just different. Same but different.
Yeah. What do you think makes a good 1v1 player, especially in the YouTube space? It's 4 dribble max, right? Game 30. You check it up top. What makes a good 1v1 player opposed to a good 5-on-5 player?
Oddly enough, it is kind of typically the players that didn't make it in 5-on-5, but were very skilled, kind of didn't get the opportunities, make the best 1v1 players because you kind of got to have a chip on your shoulder. It's not about what you do for that 30 points, but it's how prepared are you for this game. Now, asking a player that plays 82 games in a year, you're going to train 80% of the time and only play 20% of the time. They're looking at it like, what do you mean? Now we got to play more games. But these guys that are playing these one-on-one games, they're training, especially the guys around the top 5 or 6, they're training 2 to 3 times a day. They're training like they're playing professional basketball. They train like overseas players. They train like NBA players, but then they might play one game a month. So I think that it's more of a mentality. It's more of an attitude. Like all these guys are skilled. Obviously, you can't get out there and be successful and not be skilled. But it's more about the mental side of it, more about the preparation and just having that kind of chip on your shoulder of I want to win at all costs.
It does feel what Austin Rivers plays is that he's a one-on-one player, playing 5-on-5 at times. Though he did adjust to a role with James, right? He played a long time in the league as a role player, but there is a very one-on-one aspect to his game.
Yeah, and that's why I say skill wise he'd be fine. Like I don't think anyone's questioning his skill. He kind of got criticized a lot actually in the NBA for being too much of an ISO or 1v1 player. So
Ball stopper for sure.
yeah,
The
ball
way he
stopper.
plays too, it's not much flow. It's like he's stopping, he's playing,
Yeah.
he's in his
And
spot.
oddly enough, he'd be better in the NBA today's game. He actually fits more of
Yeah,
today's game than he
yeah.
did, 10 years ago. So this is definitely not a knock on Austin. I know obviously the fans, internet fans want to take it whichever way, either side you're on, they want to take it to the extreme. But that's why I thought it was such an interesting question that it was Watchtower Sports was the first sports page I saw talking about it. I was like, that's actually a really good question. Someone who's extremely talented and kind of got criticized for being a one-on-one player at the highest level in the NBA. How would they play against the best 1v1 ISO player in a 1v1 setting? So yeah, I thought it was interesting. I could see it going either way.
And he was a plus defender in the league. Like he was solid on defense, which helps you one-on-one as well. It's
For
not like
sure.
he hasn't seen anything like Nas in his life, right? Like he guarded very good players and he guarded them well.
Yeah, he'd have a game plan for anything Nas has, but again, to 30 points, getting headbutted for every single possession. Are you prepared for that? You know, it's a little
I don't know
different.
if I believe in Austin's jumper over 30, right? Like that standstill top of the key jumper. I might go with Nas's jumper in that exact scenario. Not in an NBA game, but in that scenario, I might go with Nas's jumper too.
And that's the thing. Like again, if you put them on a 5-on-5 court, any of us would be silly to say Nas is a better basketball player at 5-on-5. But again, 1-on-1, it's just a different sport. So once you see like the way you have to create space, it's more of a FIBA style than NBA style. So in FIBA, they allow you to chest up and play a lot more physical. But as long as they're in their own cylinder, they can kind of hit you on the arms. They can be a lot more physical up top. In the NBA, you can't touch a shooter at all. Like you have to get out of their way. The 1v1 setting has a lot of physicality. So if you're not used to creating that space and playing through, you know, Kobe talked about playing through the elbow tap. If you're not used to doing that, like you really struggle to get your shot off.
Austin, this is all on Austin. Like he didn't have to respond. He didn't have to say anything. And he responded to shouts to them. I don't know their name. The IG account had like 88 followers and he wants to go crazy on it. Like he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I found it interesting. At first, I was like, is this a PR move? Is he playing 4D chess, just trying to stir up some drama? But then the way that all the blowback went, I was like, he kind of threw himself into the fire. And now I think it's like a lose-lose situation for him.
Well, he does his like basketball signaling thing where I always say there's levels to basketball, but he's really on that. He's on that mission. Yeah. There's levels to basketball. Austin Rivers is leading that mission of there's levels to basketball.
Right. And it's funny. We had a full conversation on stream today and we went through a full conversation of resumes. Do resumes matter? Are there levels? And it's just like most conversations that people are allergic to context and nuance. Resumes definitely tell you something, but they can't tell you everything. We went through, you know, Chris Smith, who is J.R. Smith's brother.
Shouts to Chris. Yeah, I've hooped with Chris before. Shouts to Chris.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that, but it's like, obviously he got his shot in the league because of his brother. And now for the rest of his life, he'll be able to say, I played in the NBA. And if you didn't play in the NBA, does that mean Chris Smith is just infinitely better than you? Whereas I know there's some guys averaging 30 in the CBA who could be NBA players. So the resume can tell you some stuff, but it can't tell the whole story. I think that's the context that I'm pretty frustrated with some people like Austin Rivers, such a big platform that, you know, the gatekeeping for me, I've never really liked it.
Well, if they actually played, that would kind of concern me, Austin's attitude towards it. Right?
Yeah.
Like it seems like a person that wouldn't come in prepared, that I'll just beat this guy because there's levels to basketball.
And that's kind of what I was saying with the mentality. If you have the right mentality, Jerome Randall, I don't know if you saw that game where he played against Nesco, but Jerome Randall played in Australia. I watched him play a ton. I'm a huge fan of him and the way he teaches and speaks about basketball. But he's an undersized guard. He's been undersized his whole life. And to get to where he got to, he had to play with a chip on his shoulder. So then you get asked to play in a one-on-one game. You don't just show up and be better than the other guy. He called me. He's calling Dev in the lab. He's calling, I don't know if you know Bijan Johnson, but he played overseas and he's in the one-on-one scene now. He's calling everyone.
He respects it though. That shows respect.
100%. So what do I need to do? When do I use my timeouts? What is the conditioning level like? So this is a guy that put in 2 to 3 months of training to prepare, and no one's questioning Jerome Randall's level of skill in basketball. You know, he's stamped by NBA players, but the fact that he took it serious, locked in, and then he came away with a win.
Yeah. When you look at the J. Cole situation in the CBA, that's when you really look at it and go, and you know, shouts to J. Cole, super nice guy, hooped with him before, but that's when you go, there's levels to basketball. Like these guys are active pro hoopers, and you're coming off a mixtape and an album, you know, driving around in your Civic and think you could just go hoop out there. It doesn't work like that. There's levels to this.
And then you got to understand those players that never had the pathway. You know, NBA players talk about it a lot. You got to have the machine behind you to make it. You got to have extreme skill, genetics, luck to make it to the NBA.
But then some people use that as an excuse why they didn't make it. You know, I feel like if you're absolutely good enough, if you are truly good enough, you will get there, I think.
They'll find you for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yes. But, you know, we look at players like a TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
You go, there's 1,000 TJ McConnells out there, but there can only be one. So it's that saying, what do they say? anybody can do it, but not everybody can do it. So TJ McConnell knows I'm competing with 1,000 guys just like me, or 1,000 guys that are more athletic, that are taller, or whatever. So then you watch him play and you go, okay, I see why he's there. Because out of all the people that need that mentality and that roughneck attitude, he's the best at it. He's conquered it. So, you look at those situations, you go, you can say it's just effort, or, but it does take a little bit of luck too. Someone had to see that and be like, you know what, I'll take a chance on this guy because how hard he works, even though he's not 6'10", and I could get fired if this doesn't, if this doesn't work out. But then he goes and gets 8 steals in a row in a playoff game. You go, good choice. Good job.
Yeah, that guy's just a gamer. He's just a gamer.
He's another
definition of a gamer. Yeah.
Alvarado, Peyton Pritchard, guys like that are just, it's kind of what the sport is about.
Pritchard's a little bit different than those guys with the skill.
But again, the height. But again, there's guys that have similar skill to Peyton Pritchard that are a foot taller. And he finds a way to bring more value to an NBA team and help them win championships. And
Mike James or Peyton Pritchard? Mike James or Peyton Pritchard? Who knows, right?
That's actually a great question. That is a great question. All-time leading EuroLeague scorer, or sixth man of the. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it's very close. I mean, Peyton plays at an all-star level in the NBA at times. When he's playing
different roles, starring in their roles. I think Mike James didn't. He wants to be the go-to guy, and probably why he chose EuroLeague over NBA. Then you look at Peyton Pritchard. He's happy to be a winner. Like whatever he needs to do to win, he'll fill those roles. So someone that comes in and only hits buzzer beaters, like I didn't even know that was a role. I didn't even know there's a role for that. You have you have Jason Tatum, you have Jaylen Brown, but you need a guy to come in and hit half quarters. Yeah, shoot, I'll do that. I got you.
The NBA is so much about just fitting a niche. Like you don't have to be a top 500 player in the world, but if you just fit around another star really well, I mean, you got a job.
Yeah. So really, it's those best. It's like the best 50 players. And then it's like the best guys that fit around those 50 players. And some people are going to make the NBA because they can fit around so many different players. But some guys, it's just like good situation. It just, and I say this too, the NBA is a lot about entertainment and selling jerseys too. And I think that has to be, and that's still a skill. I bring up LaMelo Ball all the time. Like he's number 10 in jersey sales and he's never made the playoffs. But we would not say he's not a good player because he's never made the playoffs. It's just one of those weird situations that we know he's good enough to be in the NBA. We don't know where he fits. We don't know how he wins games. We don't know what's going on. We haven't figured it out, but he deserves to be there.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I'm sure the coach knows because some of the stuff he does has to be frustrating. Yeah, I mean, he got some funky one-leg threes off Euros. I don't know what he's doing out there.
He passed up a layup on a fast break just 2 nights ago and shot a 3. Made it.
Yeah. He's still playing. He's still playing for his dad in his head for sure.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's about the views.
That team is super fun.
They really are, especially with Colin Knippel. Adding him was again another winner. It's like the piece that they kind of needed.
Who would you draft number 1 this year?
I don't know. We're in a weird era of like I do think the fit matters, but I've always said draft the person that's like not going to get you fired.
AJ.
I think AJ DeBansa is the safest pick. 100%. If you draft him and he ends up being a bust, like how could you know that? 100%. But I think his floor is probably the highest out of all the players. Darren Peterson really worries me with just like the not playing, not being available. He might be healthy and playing the game of trying to get to a certain team. He might be playing 4D chess, but I do think at some point you need character kind of. You're drafting character too, and it kind of worries me there. So I would say AJ DeBansa is probably the safe choice.
You think Cam's game? We just talked about like you got to be a star, fit an NBA niche. Where does Cam fall in that for you?
Man, it's so tough.
Is he Drew Timme? Is he? No, he's
yeah.
Like Drew Timme is in my opinion, top 250 basketball player in the world, but he doesn't fit in the NBA. Well, even though he's in the NBA.
More of a EuroLeague player, oddly enough.
100%.
Yeah. It's just tough. I always say there's only 10 teams or so that are competing for a championship each year. So the other 20 teams, they have different roles. It's like we just need to sell enough jerseys, or we just need to be entertaining enough, or we need to tank for the next year. So I just feel like most people are drafting based around that. They're not really drafting around trying to win a championship. So we're as fans, we think like, who's the best player? Who got it? I mean, I think most teams probably aren't drafting for that.
Right. What's one thing you believe about skill development that others might find crazy?
I think that it's like any sport. It's as simple as you want to make it. It's as complicated as you want to make it. I think I think
You think there's an over intellectualization? I probably didn't say that word right, but
over
that
intellectualization.
there
Yeah,
you go. There
yeah,
you go.
100%. It's tough because to be a skills trainer, to be a skills coach, to be a coach, really, you kind of have to oversell yourself and what you can do because otherwise you're not going to get people to train or to coach. But
Right.
that's also one of the worst attributes of a leader, of a coach, at the same time. So it's really the people that can find that perfect balance. I've got infinite respect for them just because, like, how do you, I don't know, the guard whisperer?
Yeah.
I feel like
I don't
he's
know. I don't
someone,
know him personally, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I feel like he's someone that has like a really good balance of it, but he doesn't get a lot of views. He's probably not making a lot of money on the social media side, but literally just the training side, he probably does pretty well for himself. Someone like that, but then he's never going to blow up and be the most popular skills trainer online because he's not doing all the flashy, crazy things. So again, like I said, it's as simple as you want to make it or as complicated as you want to make it. At the end of the day, like it's usually pretty simple. The best players, like if you just pick the best player, if you have the two best players on your team, you're probably going to win more games. So as a skills trainer, if you have the most talented kids coming through your facility, like I mean, you're probably doing pretty good for yourself. Like you probably don't really have much to do with it.
Yeah, so I bumped it like I was at All Star Weekend. I bumped into some of the traders. I definitely won't say his name. That trade the best players in the world, and I want to ask him like the kind of questions that I've asked you about skill development. And bro, the way he looks at skill development, I was like, this doesn't make any sense to me, like at all, at all. Maybe I don't know. He started talking about boxing. He started like I was like, what? So it's
Yeah,
like I mean, I think anybody could trade the best players in the world. To be honest.
agreed. And coaching, what it really is at the end of the day, it's just about developing humans, but through sport. So something I've been working on in the background, but basically it's just like you're coaching the person. So some kids that you coach, you're going to be able to go into, I don't know, Michael Lancaster, he has like
Yeah.
a full vocabulary and full dictionary of how every step and every turn and twist and all these things. And I'm like, that's for a very small, specific set of players. It's not helpless or it's not worthless. There's definitely value in it. But if you've ever coached kids, like you're not going to be able to sit a kid down and go, all right, I need you to do a dig step into a lever step into a hitch drag step, and then we're going to go like in their brain, like what are you telling that kid? And I've got it on my hat here, luckily today, but I just go as fast as you can left. And a kid's like, oh, just go as fast as I can. That's going to serve them well enough up until like again, the elite players are going to be the elite players. The non-elite players are going to be non-elite players. But if you can get the players to start doing things with effort, start doing things full speed, like you're building trust, you're building like communication and all that sort of stuff. We just talked about TJ McConnell. All of those things are skills that you can really control. Then each player is going to be like, okay, how far can I go into detail with this kid? I'm going to watch his game film. We're going to talk about each step. You're wasting steps. You're going actually 3 inches too far to the right. You could be going straight past his foot. Look, you're leaving 3 inches on the table. Most
Right.
kids, most players I work with, we're not breaking it down like that. I just go, why are you not sprinting ahead? Why are
Yeah.
you not in the right spot? What were you thinking on this play? Like it almost has nothing to do with skill development. It's more teaching the player, coaching the person. So I think when your business is selling skill development, when you're what is it when you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail.
Bro.
I just feel like that's the
Bro,
main.
that's in life. That's so real in life. Like everything, bro. Everything is like
Yep,
that. Like if you take a kid to a specialist that's a specialist in something, they're gonna say
yep.
like that's their issue, no matter
That's the
what. They're
problem.
never gonna find nothing.
Yep. It's like going to a mechanic. And I think that's kind of my biggest issue with, again, I've spoken about this ad nauseum. I've taken a little break from it, but the skill development kind of sector of especially basketball, but just youth sports in general is just I just see at times it just ramps up and gets so complicated and convoluted and trainers are competing against each other and all these different things. Where I'm like, man, at the end of the day, it is not. Kobe didn't get to where he was at by doing that. Like Jordan, like take all the best players, they didn't get there from that. But at some point, they did use some of those techniques and some of those skills. But like at the end of the day, the most important things are like go play basketball. Coach, I don't make a lot of shots. What should I do? Shoot the ball more. Are you shooting much? No, like 10 times a day. Maybe 50. Try 50 a day. See if that helps.
Yeah.
Like usually most problems are very, very simple to solve.
So we saw in the Olympics, everybody's catching up. The last like 7 or 8 MVPs have been international players. Do you think that comes down to skill development?
I think it comes down to what we value here in America. Again, I think it's like bigger, better, like new flashy toys. In the NBA, you listen to Adam Silver. This is the leader of the commissioner of our the top league in the world. You listen to him talk about the NBA, and it's always about views, highlights, dunks. It's always like these things that are nice, entertainment. They're always talking about different the celebrity.
But he's doing what he's supposed to do, right?
Which is sell more eyes to the game.
Yeah.
But if you talk to a lot of other, I don't know if you've ever been to Europe and spoken to like any of those club coaches or
I played in Denmark, so
it's a lot more prestigious and it's a lot more about loyalty. It's a lot more, like I said, character. Winning matters.
Yeah, I mean, team matters more there, individual matters more here. That's it.
Yeah.
And
so I think at the end of the day, I always talk about this, when your focus keep the main thing the main thing. When you start making it about the dunks and the highlights and views and these other things, you losing focus a little bit of like what's actually really important. So for me, winning at the top level, winning should be the most important thing.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like the old guy in the room, but social media, I mean, you could look good on a 30-second clip. I mean, that's not keeping the main thing the main thing.
No, 100%. And I agree with you. But the worst part is a lot of coaches and a lot of people that are in positions of power and decision making aren't good at deciphering that data either. So they see a 30-second clip and they go, this is who this player is. And it just kind of spins its way. Because again, to get to those levels as a coach, just coaching isn't good enough anymore. You got to have a resume. You got to have followers. You got to have your social network. You got to have these other things. I just feel like basketball isn't about winning. We rarely talk about who's winning the most games. It's typically like who's scoring the most points, who's got the most assists, who's got the most steals. We're not talking about who's the best defender. We're saying who has the most steals, who has the most blocks, who has the most dunks.
Who's making the extra pass? Nobody's saying that.
No one's saying who is leading the league in paint touches.
Right.
Or they're talking about again, Con Knipple, how invaluable he's been for that team. There's more there than just shooting threes. It's like his effort, relentlessness,
his gravity. That guy doesn't stop moving on offense.
Doesn't stop moving. But whenever they say who's going to win Rookie of the Year, it's like, well, Cooper Flagg, blah blah. And I love Cooper Flagg. These are two of my favorite players. But I'm like, yeah, the way we talk about the sport is not based on winning or how much you impact winning. It's about stats and flashiness and whatever. So I think that eventually starts to spin itself, and we kind of end up in this weird path where we are now, where the NBA is, I say it's 50% entertainment or more. I really struggle to watch it until playoffs and really even the second round. But last year, watching the Oklahoma City Thunder, watching the Pacers, I'm like, wow, this is what it could be all the time. But then you watch the regular season come back the next year, and I'm like, I can't even, this is hard for me to watch, man.
Is it hard for you to watch? Do you watch more one-on-one than an NBA?
I watch far more one-on-one. I watch more WNBA, Unrivaled. I watch high school ball, college. I watch anything else I watch Turkish EuroLeague. I watch anything other than the NBA regular season.
That's crazy. Well, you could start watching soon because the playoffs are here.
The playoffs are coming up, so now I'm going to have a lot of basketball to watch. So I do love the NBA. I say it's hard for me to care when it's hard for me to care about winning if winning doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When the playoffs come and winning matters, it gets a lot more fun.
Yeah. Where can we find you, man? I love everything you're doing. I've been watching the videos. Where can everybody else find you?
Appreciate you having me on. Mr. Coach Midrange is my Instagram I've made now, and that's where I do all my business stuff now. But yeah, that's also my YouTube channel where I pretty much spend every waking hour that I have. I'll be over there, Mr. Coach Midrange.
You're doing a lot of live streams, right? Over there?
A lot of live streams.
Yeah.
Because I used to do those videos just by myself, and I was like, I might as well let other people watch me work, and now everyone enjoys it and I have a good time. So yeah, it's a good way to get some work done.
to take this full circle and end the conversation, do you think there's any chance that Austin Nas happens?
There's a 50% chance I think that it happens.
Wow.
The one-on-one space is growing and the money is very good.
I mean, especially with the interest this has right now. It's hot right now. They better get on it now.
And
they got Combo talking about it on the show. Come on, man.
If Austin Rivers doesn't do it, though, someone else will.
Yeah.
And that's why I think he'll do it.
That's interesting. I mean, I think people want to see that more than any. People could shift their attention at any point, but people really want to see that right now. And it means so much more than just Nas versus Austin. That's why it's a big deal.
Yeah, and we've seen this different levels, varying degrees, but this is probably the most profile NBA player, someone with a large platform, talking about the 1v1 space when it's at its highest as well. So I think you're completely right. This is like the moment, and this is why everyone's interested to see, because you have a side. You're either with the YouTube guys or you're with the NBA guys. And so everyone's...
if you have the tech right and the right sponsors, I mean, these guys could get paid well if they do it right.
Well, there's some very good paydays that are already happening. So
yeah,
I don't know if you know Gerald Green is playing Nas.
Oh wow!
In about a month and a half.
I did not know. Wow.
Yeah, Jonathan.
Wait, Gerald Green, but he's been coaching for a while now, right?
Yeah, he played Big Three as well.
Yeah.
Jonathan Simmons is playing Scoob.
Oh, he's tough. I mean,
that's gonna be a rough one.
Nobody's backing down on that one. That's all I know.
Yeah,
nobody's backing down.
Isaiah Austin and DeJounte Porter. DeJounte Porter.
Isn't Simmons way bigger than Scoob?
I think so. I think so.
Jonathan Simmons is he's like 6'5". Like
I think he's like 6'5", and he was, again, this is so now here's the thing.
Wait, Scoob is like 5'11", right?
No, Scoob's about 6 foot, 6'1", 6 foot. He's about 6 foot.
Okay.
But Jonathan Simmons is another chip on his shoulder guy.
100%.
That's how he got to the league.
He was playing
sleeping on couches, playing in the G League, went to the Spurs because he was a hard worker, and then that's how he got in. So those are the guys that scare me in the one-on-one space. Yeah, because he's not going to. I doubt he's going to come in and just be like, yeah, whatever, just get a.
He's not bringing his resume in his back pocket. He's not.
Yeah, he's there. He's there to play some basketball.
Austin Rivers might have his resume in his pocket. Come on, guys, like.
No, but look how good I was. Look, I promise.
Bro, nobody cares when you get on this court and you got all these people screaming at you.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of it.
You know what else I want to ask you about? The huddles, man. Those huddles do they mean anything, bro? Do they mean?
So the good ones do.
Okay.
The good ones
because I just watched them. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, is this helping the guy?
There's a few guys that you'll listen. Michael Beasley is always in his huddles. You're like, okay, this guy understands basketball at like a weird level. He weirdly understands the game of basketball. But Mario Chalmers had a couple. But then there's some guys like Moon. I don't know if you've heard of Moon.
No.
He's going to be a coach one day. You listen to him, and he breaks down one-on-one like professional coaches or players break down 5-on-5.
So you get to watch the huddle and him go to work on it. Yeah.
You get to, so in their timeouts, and that's something they've started doing a lot more. They'll go into the huddle. You can hear them talk. Most of the times, people will be like, this guy will talk, this guy will talk, this guy will talk.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And they'll contradict themselves. But there's some guys that will speak in a huddle, street stars. So like Scoob, Nas, Zay, like Bruce, some of the top 5 guys. When you listen to them, you're like, oh, they're a team. It's like a boxing corner.
And you feel like they listen?
100%, because and they know how it works. They get so tired. You get so tired in a one-on-one, you can't think straight. So you 100%. need to have a corner. And Zay was playing LP, Lamar Peters.
Yes.
They just played, and Zay almost called for a timeout at one point. He was mad because he wanted to complain to the ref. He's like, he looks to his huddle to call a timeout, and they're like, no timeout, don't call it, keep going at him. And you look over at Lamar Peters, and he's like. He's breathing hard. So Zay in his brain, he wanted to call a timeout, but his huddle was saying, nope, you can't call one. So there's those moments that's the 1v1 scene is growing to a point where there's a lot more teamwork, a lot more coaching, a lot more strategy. And like I said, you listen to Moon talk, and he'll break down the game to where he'll say, dude, he's going left every time, and he always comes back to his right hand. When he does that, he's going to do a step back. So just be in his shot pocket. Like you'll hear him say it, and you're like, okay, next play it'll happen like 2 or 3 times. You're like, oh wow, like this guy, he just breaks down the game so quick and can understand tendencies. So yeah, listening to things like that, I go, okay, this one-on-one space has a long way to go, and watching these guys grow and turn into professionals like right in front of my eyes, it's the coolest thing.
Most definitely. I'm looking forward to watching all these games. Hopefully we get to see Austin versus Nas, and thanks for taking the time. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah.
No, of course, man. Thanks for having me as well.
Hold on one second. I just gotta let this upload once we stop.
Yep.